We continue our coverage of the record December snow. Tens of thousands of Californians still sitting in the dark.
And this was the scene in Pollock Pines earlier today, a lull in the weather, finally allowing residents to start digging out feet of snow. But with miles of public and private roads needing to be cleared, it's still unclear when all power will come back on.
And this is where things stand tonight, according to the PG&E outage map. More than 16,000 customers remain without power in Nevada County, and more than 7,000 customers are in the dark in neighboring Placer County.
In El Dorado County and the communities along Highway 50, more than 15,000 PG&E customers remain in the dark. And in Amador County, the number stands at more than 5,000.
Just hours ago, Governor Newsom declared a state of emergency to help counties recover from the December storms. And 5 counties are already under a local emergency. Those are Nevada, Placer, El Dorado, Amador, and Calaveras.
And we have live team coverage tonight on this. ABC 10's meteorologist Tracy Humphrey tracking the next storm, bringing more rain and snow.
And ABC 10's Becca Habiger has been in Nevada County looking at the damage, asking PG&E when all this power could be restored. But we start with ABC 10's Giacomo Luca live in El Dorado County. Giacomo, you're hearing from people asking, where's the National Guard?
That's right, Mike and Madison. It's been 5 days since that storm knocked out power to much of the Sierra, leaving so many people stuck in the cold without energy. Now, some people are still buried under feet of snow, not able to leave their homes, and it has many folks here calling on help from pretty much anywhere, including the National Guard.
That's about how much snow we've gotten, I would say.
In Kim McCarthy, 5 days to get to her Pollock Pines business. Her Camino home was buried under feet of snow, the roads impassable.
I understand it. I mean, just seeing the absolute catastrophe between my house and the main road is unbelievable.
Many families here are prepared to be snowed in for days without power, not weeks. PG&E notified some customers it could take another 10 days before crews can reach the area just to inspect, leaving many concerned about their neighbors.
The frail and the vulnerable.
Now, some in the area, including Assemblymember Kevin Kiley, are calling to activate the National Guard. They say could help people out, bring food and medicine, generators, and clear the way for PG&E to reach their equipment.
And I worry, who's going to check on them, who's going to give them what they need,
It took Heidi Keisler a day to dig out with her husband and daughters. They're managing with a generator to cook and a fireplace to stay warm.
Frustrated, definitely makes me frustrated.
The governor declared a state of emergency in multiple counties Thursday. Cal OES says more than 600 Caltrans plows are clearing roads, Cal Fire crews tackling down trees, and the Red Cross opening warming centers.
We need that power now, not 10 days from now, not 20 days from now. We need it now.
Now, a spokesperson with the Governor's Office of Emergency Services say they have been working very closely with the local agencies to see what more help might be necessary, and they say that they have discussed things such as the National Guard and a number of other things that could be a possibility, but they are waiting for those local agencies to request what they might need. Meanwhile, so many people are waiting tonight for PG&E to help get that power back on.
And certainly we know it should come anytime soon, and we'll let you know once we know more from PG&E. Giacomo, thanks.
Okay, take a look. We first showed you this video last night, an ambulance trying to get through gridlocked South Lake Tahoe.
Now the city has activated its emergency operations center, and there's concern as more people try to head to the area to celebrate New Year's. We asked the South Lake Tahoe Chamber of Commerce what people should do.
Unless they're very experienced in winter travel, as much as a Chamber of Commerce wants business, I would say it's a little bit tricky.
This is what highways to Tahoe have looked like over the past few days. Caltrans and other state officials continue to stress that you should not travel to the mountains until conditions improve. You can find more traveling to Tahoe, more information about it on our website, abc10.com.
And turning to Nevada County now, this is what conditions have looked like. So many trees blocking the roads. Nevada County has the largest number of power outages tonight, and ABC 10's Becca Habiger is showing us why.
Here in the Nevada County community of Alta Sierra, it's one of the hardest hit places by the recent winter storms. You can see the downed power lines back there. That's how it looks all throughout the Alta Sierra area. Today I spoke with PG&E and asked why it's taking so long to restore power. PG&E says hundreds of their workers are in the field trying to get power restored as soon as possible, though PG&E's outage map says for many customers across the Sierra, that isn't expected to happen until next week, if not later.
Some of our equipment is in more remote areas with difficult terrain, so we're having trouble getting access to our equipment to make those assessments and make those repairs. In the Sierra division, we've found 664 instances of damage to our equipment. So that's broken transformers, broken poles, wires down, and that's just what we can see.
This is the worst snowstorm that this area's had in 10 years. Probably the most damaging snowstorm that this community has had in the last 30 years.
CAL FIRE Captain Matthew Paulus says some people here in the Alta Sierra community are still stuck in their homes, unable to dig out because plows haven't had access to the roads thanks to dangers like this.
There have been folks that the generators have failed or that their propane tanks have run critically low or dry altogether. So there is no source of power or heat for those folks.
CAL FIRE is working with PG&E and Nevada County crews to cut fallen trees and make the roads passable.
Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming.
Michelle Langhorst is without power.
I haven't had a chance to walk it, but from what I'm seeing online on Facebook, they're saying it's like a war or Armageddon. It's like, it's just, yeah, according to what people have told me where I'm at right here, I'm good compared to everything else.
And the latest information here on the PG&E Power outage map shows that this community of Alta Sierra, there is not yet an estimated restoration time for their power.
All right, let's hope it's soon. Thank you, Becca. Then just check in with meteorologist Tracy Humphrey. Yes. Tracy, it's going to be another difficult, cold night for these people.
It is, because as the storms move out, the Arctic chill will move in. And we are going to be looking at some very cold temperatures beginning tonight. And it gets even colder New Year's Eve, as well as moving into Saturday night as well. So here's a look at Highway 80 on Donner Summit. And boy, looks like a ghost town, right? People definitely heeding the warnings. You don't want to be traveling this time of the at night anyway, because you could be looking at some icy conditions across the area. But again, right now, everything relatively quiet, and that's because, again, we don't have any major systems coming in. That's because most of those systems have moved out. I hate clickers. I'm going to move and just kind of advance myself. So again, that's Donner Summit coming around 7,000 feet in elevation. And as we move from that live shot of Highway 80, we'll be taking a look at something else that's going on across the area. And how about storm totals? So December 21st to December 29th, talk about snowfall. North Star coming in at 135 inches. Sugar Bowl at 126, Palisades, Tahoe 117, Heavenly at 80, and we did have some low snow as well. Coming up, there is more snow on the way. We will time it all out in just a few moments.
All right, now keep in mind there are a lot of areas buried in snow right now, some that usually only see a few inches of snow at a time. There have already been reports of carbon monoxide poisoning, causing state officials to issue this message warning people to be safe while trying to keep warm.
Power generators that aren't normally hooked up to the grid, that are backfeeding the grid, are a real danger, and alternate heat sources that create carbon monoxide in your home are a real danger, in addition to all the common things you would think about. Driving, trees falling on your head, out for a walk, just real dangerous right now.
And CAL FIRE says that they urge people to just get out of the area if it's safe to do so. They say go someplace safe where there is power and heat.
As very cold weather hits the region, more counties across Northern California are opening warming centers. We have a list of these warming centers on abc10.com.